lectures can feel really daunting, especially compared to what it's like at school, where you might only be in a classroom with 30 other people. So in a lecture you can be sat there with maybe 100 or 200 or more other students, so it can feel quite an overwhelming experience and not very personal. So the way to kind of, I think, deal with this is to make it a bit of a personal learning experience for you. So you decide, what are you going to get out of the lecture? How are you going to prepare for it? What reading are you going to do so that you're in the right sort of frame of mind and have a bit of an idea of the topic before you go in. And then make sure that you have your own note-taking style. So when you're in the lecture, you're making sort of meaningful notes that are really going to help you. And then after the lecture, how are you going to summarise and make sense of what you've just heard?
My first experience with lectures was very exciting, as I was really enthusiastic about what I was going to study. However, the ways in which you study at university are quite different from what you're used to at high school. The main point is that you get much more independence. Yes, sometimes you get a reading list for a particular module with the books you are advised to read through to get to grips with the module material, but for some modules you don't even have a reading list, so you've just got to figure out what topics are you studying and what supplementary materials would be useful for you. I would also say that the personal tutorial program is very helpful because what you get to discuss there is absolutely relevant to your studies, and apart from this, not only to your studies but to real life. So make the most of it.
The first time I attended a lecture at university, I was kind of overwhelmed by the fact that there were so many other students in the room, and to be honest, it was quite sort of fast-paced, so you had to sort of learn how to kind of take note of what was happening, and I kind of learnt my own way how I like to take lecture notes. So it's a lot different to when you're in a smaller class at college, for example, with your mates, that kind of thing. So you're encouraged to be a lot more on the ball, a lot more kind of critical, and engaging with what the lecturer is telling you, and also encouraged to kind of ask a lot of questions. And so I guess it was kind of a case of finding my own voice and trying to be confident and speaking up in a lecture theatre, even though there was loads of students around. You just kind of need to be kind of confident and find your own voice and ask questions.
The first time I went to the lecture, it was a little hard for me because I'm from a non-English speaking country, and it's hard to focus on 2 hours lecture without a break. And for the first seminar, the teacher encouraged us to discuss, to express our own idea, and the seminar is a mixture of presentation and discussion.